Amy, why did you walk out of a thrift store with this picture of a chicken? Well, this rooster is going to help me make a wreath for my son's fundraiser at school. I'm going to call it a fund-wreather. So first of all, I'm just going to take apart this frame. Even though it's a lovely picture, I don't actually need the picture or the glass. So I'm just going to pop out all of these little staples and the hanger just because we don't want anything scraping somebody's front door. I do have to get this done while the kids are at school in order to have it ready for the fundraising event, and hopefully it will turn out well. I'm a little bit concerned. I thought that when I bought this boxwood square that it would be plenty, but sitting it on there, it was just a little too tall and awkward to just glue it right on there. I was trying to keep my costs down, which is why I thrifted the frame for $4 and why I am painting these plastic pears, just try to add more color and interest. I had bought the boxwood. It was originally $9 and I used a half off coupon, but I really didn't want to have to keep spending more since this was a fundraising thing. I wanted to keep the initial costs low. This grape wreath floral wire that I'm using right here, I already had that, but I did have to purchase the floral parts and the fruit, and I would not be getting reimbursed for this, so what I did was I made another wreath for somebody who the cost covered both of them, but not my time. So I was just really doing this because I love it, and I personally can't keep spending all my money making wreaths just for myself, so if there's a reason to do it, then I kind of use that as an opportunity, and that way my husband's not like, what are you spending our money on? So in any case, I'm wrapping the frame so that I'll have something to poke these boxwood clippings into, because I just decided to make it look as natural as possible. I was going to have to poke it in, and I didn't want to use so much glue, so this would be something to anchor those into. And to be honest, this was not my favorite part of the process. Very tedious, but foundationally important. So I've pretty much covered the outside, especially the edges of this square frame with the boxwood. So now I'm going to just attach some fruit. Interestingly, if you're an art nerd like me and you look at paintings from a long time ago, maybe Victorian or a Renaissance or even Chinese paintings with the pears, the boxwood and pear both have symbolism related to longevity or even immortality. Like if you look in Christian paintings, sometimes you'll see the boxwood, or perhaps near a crucifix, the boxwood would be there, representing like eternal life. And so both of those, to me, have significance related to Christmastime. And for me, the things I put in my home or that I create, I really want to do intentionally. And that's why I just think it's a fun layer to add, not just the aesthetics of a wreath, but also some of the meanings behind it. Now, I mean, possibly that might not always work out well, depending on what you're using, what the meaning of a flower might be. But when I can incorporate that, I like to do that, and it can be fun for you to look those things up too. So I took some die-cut metal word art from the Dollar Tree and I painted it red because I didn't like the brown color that it came with. But before that, I'd actually tried to paint it kind of a copper color, and that didn't work for me either, too close to brown. I just needed the red to pop, just like the red on these berries and also the fruit. So notice where the little birdie is placed. After hanging it up, I got a different perspective, decided I needed to rip the poor little guy off and put him up on the top left because it just seemed like he needed to be more eye level, and it just seemed like the three fruit at the bottom was more balanced for some reason to me. So that happens a lot when I'm making wreaths, just getting a different perspective after it's hung up and I've stepped back from it, taking a little break. One thing though that I would say about this wreath that I would change is the bottom right side of the wreath. It doesn't look as full as the other sides, and I think that's because I ended up running out of the boxwood leaves, and this is my month of no spending, so I couldn't go buy more to fill it out a little bit more. And therefore I ended up doing a different method for putting the boxwood leaves on, and you can definitely see, and maybe it's also the way I wrapped the ribbon, but if I could go back and do it again, I would fluff that up a little bit more. I did use some hydrangea purple and blue flowers to kind of tie in the bird a little bit more, and I really like that. I think it just adds some richness to it with the different hues in it, and of course, you can see my shirt, I love blues. That was something that I thought was kind of unexpected, and if you've seen my other wreath making videos, you know I really like floral arrangements, so I guess that kind of fits my style, but I'm just going to keep adding them even to winter type wreaths.